One of my favorite notes used in perfumery is Iris, specifically that makeup bag Iris. I don't know what it is about that that's just super addicting. Maybe it's just, a man's brain is hardwired to relate the whole makeup thing. Wait, makeup is man-made.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we've got, this isn't a 10, 13. We've got 13 fragrances that have Iris. Some of them, most of them actually have this makeup bag Iris vibe that's, I think, has been introduced by Dior Homme, the original, and that was back in, I think, 2002. Don't quote me for it. Regardless of the fact, it was introduced in one of the designer fragrances, and it basically smells like a makeup bag. But there is something so addictive to, for me at least, to that nature of it. The buttery lipstick cosmetic vibe. Granted, that vibe is a little bit metro, but like I said, man, there's just something super addictive to that quality. And it could be the possible relation that I draw to a woman, because cosmetics and then you're wearing it. There's something addicting about it. But I'm not the only one. There's a huge crowd that love that exact nuance that you get from Orris Butter, sometimes Iris. It's basically this fantasy Iris. While trying to create or recreate that exact fantasy Iris, I learned that it's a mashup of a couple of notes. There isn't one distinctive fantasy Iris, rather it's a couple of fixatives that you have to blend with Iris, maybe some violet, sometimes Orris Butter. It's a whole concoction of things. But today we've got fragrances that are affordable, so under about 55 bucks, that have that exact same quality. I've been waiting for quite some time to really create this fragrance list because there weren't many. So some of these are truly hidden gems. You probably haven't seen them anywhere else, but let's go ahead and get started. The first fragrance, I want to knock out the ones that aren't really makeup related, but they do have that Iris note. So the first fragrance that I want to talk about is one that's a super cheapie that I think every man should own if they enjoy that powdery vibe. It smells a little bit of cherry and powdery, but it's more so daiquiri because it's Halloween Man X. Look at the level of juice on that, okay? Let it speak for itself. I used to rock the ish out of this one. So it's got this daiquiri, powdery Iris. I've got numerous compliments while wearing this one, as simple as that. The next one is one that uses the note of Iris, but it's not really makeup baggy or anything like that. It's one that's inspired by Le Labo's Santal 33, and it's Rich Santal by Emir. This stuff uses that powdery Iris, but it's not anything of makeup bag quality, so let's go ahead and set this one aside. But it's still definitely there. Lastly, that's not really too makeup bag vibe, is going to be a cheap version of Le Mot Le Parfum, and it's L'Homme Le Parfum by Fragrance World. So you get a lot of cardamom, spices, and lavender. It has this powdery Iris vibe, but it doesn't have that makeup bag vibe or anything like that, but it's still a great dupe of that fragrance. So this is an excellent choice. Now we're entering into the territory of that lipstick makeup bag, and for the most part, a lot of these are Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense inspired by, or even Dior Homme Parfum inspired by. There are only a couple of fragrances that really utilize that, but I would love to see a lot more brands try and bring that back. So the first one we're going to talk about is actually Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé. So yes, it has that makeup bag vibe, but it has much more whiskey and smells like an adult masculine version of that. And this is called Al Fakhr by Utur Al Alam, a relatively new addition to my collection, but this smells so freaking good. The scent profile of this one is getting bolder and denser as it ages. The first time I wore this one, it was a little bit of an alcoholic opening, but now we're here a week and a half later and it's super dense. Excellent option. You definitely want to check that one out. This one's a throwback that's been through hell and back with me, and it's Futura L'Homme by ARMAF. The plaque is gone, but this is the original Dior Homme, like 2006 or 2012. It's got, instead of the cacao, it's got coffee, but it's the closest inspired by. I can relive this forever. I have about 3 bottles of this bad boy, and I've got a couple of I have a problem. Next up on this list is more of an inspired by of Dior Homme Intense. When I first discovered this fragrance, it truly was a hidden gem, but then it became hard to find. But as I sniffed this one more and more, I learned that this was more of an inspiration. It's a little bit more centered around the ambery vibes, but still has that lipstick Iris and smells fantastic. G Parlis, they always have great fragrances, and this is Idol La Nuit. You have to make sure it's the La Nuit because there are a couple of different options. I don't want you guys to mess up and get the wrong one, but Idol La Nuit is pretty much an inspired by of Dior Homme Intense. So pear ambers and makeup bag Iris. Fantastic. I skipped over this one. This probably should have came after that Le Mot Le Parfum dupe, and this is Gris Charnel dupe, and it's Francique 6355 by Fragrance World. This is a fig and tea centric fragrance, and it does have that Iris. It's borderline makeup bag. Of the 3 that aren't really makeup bag vibe, this has it the most, but it's barely even there. It's more of a fig centric fragrance, but nevertheless, it smells good. I'm convinced that this one's gonna get strong stronger. So I will be putting this aside, but I wanted to mention this in this list at least. So next fragrance that's gonna go back into that makeup bag vibe. This is beastly stuff. It's Prada L'Homme, the original, and it's Ajmal Evoque Gold. This stuff is beastly. It smells like fresh laundry and that makeup bag iris. It's not crazy around the makeup bag iris. It's more so about everything else. This is honestly office safe, and you don't need more than like 4 to 6 sprays with this. While we're on that topic, we're gonna introduce another one that's also Prada L'Homme, except this one has a little bit more cardamom, but it doesn't last as long as Ajmal's Evoque Gold. I will say, however, though, that with the performance of this, you're gonna sacrifice the scent profile. This one, however, is a great scent profile, and it's called Avant-Garde by Riffs. I spray this on, I'm spraying a minimum of like 12 sprays. After that, I get about 6 to 8 hours. So not too bad, not the worst. You're gonna have to determine what's worth it more so for you. The next one on this list is one that's super rich, extremely buttery. So this is like that makeup bag, but like ×2. Pandora Scents Camaro Homme Intense. And this is more of an inspired vibe because of the fact that that makeup bag vibe is double dosed, but I love this for that. Next on this list is another Dior Homme Intense dupe, and it's truly a hidden gem. This one I really enjoyed. It's a little bit less makeup bag vibe. It focuses a little bit more on the musk than some of the other ones, but the makeup bag vibe is still definitely there. And it's Sheikh Zayed limited edition, so this gray one here. Gray or silver, I'm colorblind. But limited edition is Dior Homme Intense, a fantastic find and one of the earliest finds for Dior Homme Intense. So Sheikh Zayed Limited. Next up is one of my favorite inspired buys. Unfortunately, the limited stock of this thing makes me kind of hate it, but it is truly a great one of the best. Honestly, right now, the best dupe of Dior Homme Intense, Cayenne Classic. Cayenne Classic has that pair, the iris, and for me it lasts easily up to 8 hours. So Cayenne Classic, one of the best ones by Al Wataniya. Just like I said, unfortunately, not much there. Last one on this list has to be one of the sexiest ones because it's Dior Homme Parfum. I've tried a lot of the other dupes, and technically, if we wanted to, I could expand this list and add 2 more, which is Alexandria Fragrances, and also the Dua brand's version of Dior Homme Parfum. And while both of those are excellent choices, I favor the Alexandria Fragrances just a little bit more, but the Mandarin quality in the Alexandria, it's just a little bit off. Granted, it's still a great option, but this one is the newest dupe, and I think because of that, it had time to really develop and learn from the others' mistake. This is, believe it or not, unique to Fragrance by CA, and it's by FOMO, that's the brand name, and it's called Gary's Den. So Gary's Den has to be the best Dior Homme Parfum dupe today. Dior Homme Parfum is that same lipstick iris vibe, except it's a bit more, a lot more masculine really than Dior Homme Intense because of the addition of the oud. It also has a hefty dose of that ambrette, and the oud quality in this one is really not that animalic. One of my favorite, actually no, Dior Homme Parfum is my favorite fragrance of all time, and this one gets pretty dang close. I will say that none of them get as close as I would like them to be, but I am going to be a little bit more particular because of the fact that it's my #1 fragrance of all time. So this one and Leather Intense by Alexandria Fragrances are definitely worth checking out, but this one, as of now, is #1. I really hope that this scratched the itch for all of you guys that love that makeup bag iris as much as I do. I know that this was a video that I'd always wished to see, and it made me extremely excited to just go ahead and make it myself. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and until the next one, peace.